All right, drip community and team, we're back with another video. There's a few things I wanted to discuss in this video. Should be pretty quick. I don't know what order I want to do them in, but it's Drip's 1-year anniversary, so happy birthday, Drip. Let's do some airdrops, animal farm relaunch, and then let's ask a question that everyone wants to know the answer to. Why won't Forex show his face? So let's get right into it. In order, how about we go with the birthday first? Drip has been around for 365 days, and if you guys have been in the DeFi space for any period of time, you know that is an eternity. So that's especially with this type of like yield farming strategies and staking protocols, most of those don't last a super long time because they're unsustainable. There's shady devs, there's a bunch of things that happen, but in this case, the faucet is still running strong 1 year later. So congratulations to everyone who has money staked in the faucet, is earning that 1%. I think we've got a really bright future here. Obviously, most people watching this video are already in on Drip and they're pretty stoked about it. If you're not, I'll do a little shameless shill and say that my buddy code is down below. But I think most of us are just excited that we've been here a year. I know it seems like the majority of the community that's been getting in Drip got in, January, February, March. Some of us older timers, and end of last year is when I started, so I've actually been around longer than a lot of people, but the real OGs started a year ago, and then a lot of folks started that summer after, and have made some really good profits. I'm just trucking along with 869 Drip. I'm gonna keep compounding, and I have no intention of claiming anything besides to give airdrops until at least the end of the summer. Then I may take a little pulls here or there, a couple of months or something like that, to get a little bit of my money back. But I'm in it for the long term, and I'm just excited that it's been a year. I think it bodes really well for the longevity of Drip. Forex has just come out with so many great updates recently, so if you're not in, I'm not going to give you financial advice and say get in, but I'll tell you what I tell my family members who have asked me about it lately. Now is probably the best time to get in. You're going to get in at a really low price, almost the bottom, and then all these announcements are going to come out. So in the future, if everything tanks, that's always possible. Maybe everything fizzles out. I don't see that happening, but at least in the near term, I think you've got all these relaunches happening, scratch off lottos, new UI, all that stuff is bullish for the price. I don't see that stuff getting dropped and then the price goes down. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, especially since we've gone through this really long couple-month period where we've had really no updates. The focus has been on fixing Animal Farm and not on Drip, and the price is still held relatively stable. Obviously, it dropped from the highs, but over the last month, we're not seeing a ton of swing in the price. So I think we're in an area that's relatively stable. So not financial advice, do your own research, but if I were to clone myself, I would have that clone getting into Drip also. All right, now I know this is not the order I should do this in. I should wait for the airdrops till the end, so you guys got to watch my videos for a little bit longer and don't log off as soon as you see if you want or not. But hopefully you guys will continue watching. You'll find the information that I'm about to share really valuable, because there's a couple of pieces that you might not know, including why Forex doesn't show his face, that I think are really important. So I'm going to go against the grain here and my better judgment, and let's do some Drip airdrops. I claimed 3-point-something tokens, and it took a little bit of that away. Let's see, so I'm at 2.96. So I'm going to say, a 3 Drip airdrop. It's a little bit less. Don't sue me. It is what it is. So let's do a team airdrop. Let's go divide between 5 matching players, but I want to get people more, so we're going to actually slim this down to 3. We'll run this, and then we'll eliminate the highest number of Drip tokens and the lowest number of Drip tokens, and the 3 in the middle are going to actually get the prize. So budget will be 2.964, and we'll let this run real quick. It'll take a second. Okay, let's see what it gave us. Okay, so the 2 people that are eliminated from it are going to be this 1.63 and this 424. So you, and you. This guy, this will help. That'll increase him by like 20%. So those guys are all going to get the airdrops. Let's go ahead and send them now. And as always, I'll fast forward through this part so you don't have to sit and wait for it to confirm my transactions. All right, last one is sent. They're all getting 0.9882, so just under 1 drip a piece. Hopefully that helps out. Again, I'll continue doing airdrops to the team. As soon as we hit 100, I'm giving away 10 drip, and then of course I'll give away some more during that period too. So we're just trying to hit a number there, and we'll do some big airdrops. But thank you for everyone who's joined the team, and really everyone who supports the channel. You're like 1,200 subscribers or whatever, which is awesome. So I appreciate you all, and if you're not on the team, join up. We do airdrops and we give away to charity. Last month we gave away to one specific charity that donates clean water resources to underprivileged areas, and I've got a couple more in the works that I find pretty interesting. Some of them are more localized. Some of them are more kind of like St. Jude's. I mean, anytime you can donate to those guys, it's amazing because you're helping children that are fighting terminal illness. So anyway, back on drip. Like I said, almost 870 tokens. I'm looking very forward to hitting 900, really more 1,000. I just want to see that K behind my number like some of my peers have got. So not so low key. I am jealous of you guys. Coming to the swap page, we've got 36.56 is the current price. We're seeing a little pump now. It dipped down last night, and now we're back up. It ran up yesterday because I think people were kind of excited, and then the wind went out of everyone's sails when they announced that the animal farm wasn't going live as expected. So what's going to happen with the price? Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't predict the price. A lot of people are saying that since some of these wallets are hitting their max payout, that drip is going to skyrocket. I don't know if that's really going to happen. If you look back at last year, I think you had, last April, I think you had 1,200 or so people join. Then it was maybe like 800 the next month, 500 the next month as the price was going down. So only a couple thousand people really joined early on. And I got to imagine that most of those people, at least 90% of those people, believed in the project. So why would they throw in $30,000 and then just start claiming on day one, claim all year to where they cash out, right? So I don't think that many of them necessarily maybe hit max payout unless they added more money later and they've hit max payout. But we're not seeing that many wallets get to that max payout status as far as like 100,000 drip tokens. So I don't actually think it's going to have a big effect. Now I think there will be a point maybe in the next few months where wallets are actually maxing out. So some of these bigger whales are hitting 100,000 drip tokens, and then from then on it's just really a drain on the system. But once they've claimed everything and they fall off, if they haven't started a new wallet, right, all that's good for the system. In addition, you've got the whale taxes and everything. So this is still a sustainable model. I just don't think that because we're a year in, all of a sudden all these wallets are maxing out and that money's going back into the system. I think that narrative is wrong. That's just my opinion. I mean, I know a lot of YouTubers are saying right after April 22nd, this price is going to double. So I don't believe so for that reason. I do, however, think we'll see double the price in 2 months. That's just my personal opinion, and that has everything to do with Animal Farm getting relaunched, the UI getting relaunched, and the scratch-off tickets getting launched, and more so the hype that's going to create that drip's doing all these things and it's survived more than a year, and it's got all this positive news going rather than a lot of the negative news that we've been having for the last couple months. So any good news I think is going to pop the price because everyone's sitting back waiting to jump in until something good happens. No one in investing wants to buy when the price is going down or bottoming out, even though that's the best time to buy. And everyone wants to buy when it's at an all-time high because people get FOMO, they get greedy, and they want to pile in last minute. So welcome to Investor Mindset 101. Before I forget, if you guys would not mind liking and subscribing to the channel, comment, do whatever, turn on notifications, do whatever you want to do. Click a couple of those buttons down there. It certainly would help me out, helps the algorithm. So for me, it helps me because obviously I get more subscribers and more people get to see my videos. For us who are in the drip community, the more YouTube promotes drip videos and gets them out there, the more eyes we're going to get on the platform. The more eyes we get, the more people are going to be interested. The more interested parties, the more people who will actually purchase drip tokens, increasing the price. So do us all a favor and like all my videos and subscribe, and that'll help the whole world make more money. So next, when is Animal Farm going to relaunch? So obviously we all know that Animal Farm did not launch on time yesterday, even though it was supposedly 100% done. A lot of people are really frankly bitching about it. One thing I learned a long time ago is you just control your controllables. I mean, there's nothing that we can do to get it going faster. So you can either bitch about it and be angry, or you can just move on and realize that it will come out soon. Will it affect the price that much? I think in the long term it won't. It might miff some people over the next few days, but it's really not a big deal in the scheme of things. It's frustrating to have your money locked up for that certain amount of time, but it's not the end of the world, and I still think we'll see a good boost after it gets launched. So I've got some competing messages from Forex, and so I don't know which direction he's going to go with this. In one message, he says that they're probably going to wait till Tuesday because they like doing things on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and he wants an opportunity to test everything. In another message, he says he wants to get this finished up. He really doesn't want to wait until Tuesday because that's too long out, and it might happen sooner. So my estimation, I don't think it'll get relaunched today. We could technically see something tomorrow, which is Saturday, but I wouldn't be surprised at all, really, if he waits until next week, even like Monday. They've got to do the update for the pancake swap, like version 3 transition. That's going to cause a bunch of issues, which I think is on the dog side. And the reason pigs didn't launch, I might have this backwards, I'm just a little foggy today. The reason pigs didn't launch is the contract is fine on the back end, but the user interface on the front end would be show, if they were to launch it would be showing that you had more pigs than you were supposed to. And so people would get confused, and it would cause a big conundrum. And that inadvertently would cause a bunch of FUD on the platform and everything. So in order to mitigate that, they're going to try to actually solve the issue with the user interface. They run some tests. They think they know how to do it. There's also, on the dog side, the pancake swap thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just fixes both of them so they can both launch on Monday or Tuesday. But hang tight. I mean, there's really nothing we can do about it. So once he gets it on pause, we'll see what happens with the system. Drip price is holding. It started to dip, and I actually thought since it didn't get launched, we might see a couple more dollars come off the drip token price. But it's bounced around in the same range that it's been in. So every time a dip happens, there's a pool of buyers down there to buy up the supply, which is awesome. Obviously, that's what we want to have happen. So when I get an update on that, I will relay that to all you guys, and I'm excited for all that stuff to go live again so we can start making money. Now, on to the question everyone's been asking: why won't Forex show his face? So a prominent member of the Drip community did a live AMA with Forex last week, and it was awesome. His name's James Pelton, so shout out to James Pelton. He's got like 40,000 subscribers or something like that on YouTube. I thought the AMA was really good. I like the one-on-one back and forth AMAs that happen on YouTube. They're generally speaking a little bit cleaner, and as long as people can type their messages in the chat and ask those questions, and then we can get answers to the questions we're all wanting answers for. When they happen on the Telegram side, everybody's in there yelling, being unprofessional. You're hearing questions from all sorts of different people. People are asking questions that we've had answers to a dozen times. So Forex is just repeating himself over and over again. So those things are just super convoluted, and I'm not the biggest fan of those. So I like this one. I like James Pelton's channel, and I thought this was really good. So listen into this, where Forex, this is the portion of the interview where Forex describes why, in his opinion, it's actually not a good idea to get doxxed. So let's listen to this.
Jones, but two, I just see through that. I see it for what it is, and we see what happens with those projects.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do. So we get a lot of comments saying, why does Forex Shark hide his face? And if you read the comments, the Drip community, you guys are pretty hard on people who show their faces. Just look at this, that you've been talking to me. But Forex Shark, do you want to just talk real briefly about your decision to not dox? It's just something that comes up a lot.
Yeah, well, there's nothing about showing your face. Nothing wrong with showing your face, right? Especially if you're not a developer doing like innovation in the space. But due to the regulatory changes in the market, especially in DeFi and in crypto, I think it's important that you don't give a target for regulators to put pressure on to try to get some sort of sway on the protocol. And this has always been my position, right? So there's that. There's also the fact that I'm a private person, and I've always been a private person. When Facebook came out, when Facebook was very popular, like when I was in high school, I never even created a Facebook for myself, not even for my own personality, because I've never been the person that likes to share in that kind of way and be updating my own personal thing. Hey, I'm going to the gas station today. I'm going to the gym. I feel the need to update everybody on every move like some people feel the need to do. I just don't feel the need to do that. And I like to have the projects and the code speak for itself. Now, on top of that, I'm interested in 4 major utilities in DeFi, and that is lending, insurance, gaming, and privacy. This is where I feel the future of DeFi is, and this is where I want to build. And one of those big use cases is privacy. And I feel that in order for a true privacy protocol to be effective, you cannot have a docs dev, especially a docs dev living in the US. And we see that with the recent news that's come up with Tornado Cash, where the Tornado Cash dev is a doxed resident of New York. He has several registered businesses in the US. The Ronin hack happened, where what the feds are essentially saying is North Korean actors did this hack. They pushed the money through Tornado Cash, and now, due to pressure that's been put on the Tornado Cash dev, and I'm sure there's all kinds of pressure being put on in the sense that, hey, your protocol is helping, state enemies avoid sanctions and all these things, which have major implications if you are allowing or helping someone do that, right? Major legal implications and regulatory implications. Now he's in a position where he's actually partnering, and Tornado Cash is partnering with Chainalysis Oracle in order to track their own users, block users who they feel are trying to avoid U.S. regulation or sanctions, and they're utilizing Chainalysis Oracle for their compliance model, which is an admission that Chainalysis can track their users, which we all knew they could track their users to some degree. We don't know exactly to what degree, but if you cannot take a principled stance as a privacy protocol that you will not only continue to escalate and do everything in your power to innovate to prevent protocols and projects like Slow Mist and Chainalysis from de-anonymizing your users, but to go all the way out and partner with them to do that, it completely voids the use of a privacy protocol. And I'm sure the developer of Tornado Cash never thought that he would want to go in this direction, but it's the pressure that's being put on him from the U.S. government due to the people that use Tornado Cash, who are forcing him to do that, right? And of course, some of this is my speculation, but it's obvious what's happening, right? And they even basically announced that this is the case. So I've wanted to do some privacy model, and I've always felt that it's important to not have a docs dev. Now, what is best, right, is to have a developer who has a long-term track record of success and of providing quality products, doing raises where capital goes where it's supposed to go, and a consistent level of integrity attached to this developer. Then having the contracts themselves not be vulnerable to any sort of insider manipulation or rug pull or scamming, and then have a dev that is not doxed, so there's no regulatory pressure on the project and no attack vector there. That is the best case scenario, and that's what I feel that we have and what we'll continue to take advantage of.
Yeah, because I've had docs devs who ended up with an exploit, right? Or they ended up with a rug pull. I'd rather have a year history of, hey, Drip's been going for a year, and I'd rather have that history than a docs dev personally. And I think you're totally right on the regulation stuff. Once regulation starts coming in, they're going to be looking for critical points in these DeFi protocols, and that's where they're going to apply pressure. And
exactly,
so I totally agree with you.
And so with my history, Drip's a year old, Reap's like 2 years old. My Discord, where I've been doing pre-sale raises and advising projects, is 6 years old. And then I have a decade working in the space, right, where I wasn't public for the first 4 years. And all of this is documented, and I encourage people to check it out. And also we know that having first of all, getting KYC or KYC papers, whatever, not hard, right? There's a million OTC type groups where you can buy KYC. You can get someone to stand in for you. And also, we know that being doxxed does not prevent people from scamming. There are Canadian citizens who have registered crypto exchanges in Canada. Everybody knows them, and they flee to China after they take all the money, right? That's happened so many times. So we know that just being doxxed is no protection. It might be some element of, make you feel a little more secure, but when someone can take hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, and that's available to them, you cannot trust just them being known, because people are criminals, right? People do criminal actions whether they're known or not.
I totally agree.
All right, guys, there you have it. I thought that was a great interview. Let me see if I can actually post the link to that, because you should watch the whole thing if you're able to. I'll post a link to that in the description of my videos. But I understand what he's saying. Some devs, they don't want to show their face because they're shady and they have an intention to do something shady, so they don't want to show it. But I completely get Forex's side on some of the regulatory issues that could happen. If your face is out there, they can certainly lean on you for one thing or another, and we've seen that happen with a bunch of other projects. So I can see why he wants to do that, and it really is truly decentralized if he stays anonymous. So there's pros and cons to both sides. I'm not concerned about Forex. He could have pulled the rug on these projects at any time. He's got a couple-year track record with the REAP tokens. Drip's been around for a year now, so I feel pretty confident. I think if he were to do a rug pull, it would be very surprising, because we're way late in the game for that. He could have done that, 90 days in or right after the raise or whatever, taken his millions and gone. I just think he's too prominent in the space, and he's really looking to build a legacy. And I've said it a bunch of times, but PancakeSwap, Chainlink, any of these big players that are looking to do partnerships with him, they have vetted him. They're not just going to say, oh, this is a cool looking project, let's just reach out to the dev and link up and try to do something together. They're going to do their research, they're going to be thorough, and once they feel really good about something, then they'll move forward. Now, could something happen? Sure, but I don't think it's likely at this point. Anyway, like and subscribe, join the team, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Happy investing.